Hi, my name is Coco with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Steve Harris, who plays Detective Bryant on the STARZ hit original series BMF. Thank you so much for joining me. We're now in season 2. Detective Bryant has a very unique and different relationship now with Meech. It's not as amicable as
Right.
it used to be.
That's a good word. That's a good word.
I'm trying to find the word.
That's a good word.
So, I mean, as you see it all, that they're bumping heads and the relationship has changed and they don't have that camaraderie
Right.
that they did. Talk about how that has shifted and what that means to Detective Bryant.
Well, now Meech is squarely on his radar. That's the
Yeah.
guy he's hunting now. It's changed dramatically from them being quasi partners to it's turned into, I'm trying to put him up under the jail, for lack of a better term. And it's really just because there were a couple of violations that occurred. One, the killing of my partner, and the other
Right.
one, killing of the kid that I believe he's responsible for that I brought to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think my character was willing to do certain levels of dirt,
Mm-hmm.
but not go beyond, not get to the point of ever murdering anybody. So when you cross that line, it sort of put him in a different alignment to now what he needs to do and what he's attempting to do by, like I say, by getting rid of Meech.
But you know what's so interesting to me, Steve, as I'm sort of analyzing Detective Bryant as like his character, he does have like there's a sort of a fine line, and there's just like just sort of the underworld, right, and just sort of a certain code that he goes by. But
Right.
what's really interesting is that his new partner, Detective Jen, she still has that moral compass that sort of lives in sort of an altruistic land, right? And so Detective Bryant got kind of pissed because he's like, it's almost like a us versus them when she sort of takes on, she kind of leaps out and does a very, very drastic sort of like a life-saving gesture that
Right.
he just is like, that life is not worth your time. And
Right.
so I just thought that was kind of interesting because it's like sometimes he wants to do good, and then sometimes he's like,
Well, it's also the good that he wants to do. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's what most people are.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do that. Most people, they do good, but a lot of the times when they're doing that, in some instances, it's out of either response to something that has happened to them or a family member, so they react in kind, or they do it because there's some benefit from it.
That's
Very,
true.
you know what I mean? Rarely is
Mm.
it the other way around. And if you go risk our lives, it can't be for a cat like that. If you want to risk my life, nah, we can't do it for that dude. No, no.
Does it feel fun to play a character that does I guess kind of bad cop?
Yeah, it's always better to play these kind of people. It's
Yeah.
all to me. It makes sense to me because I actually feel like I don't think he ever. I knew. Look, I think the character thought that he was doing stuff that wasn't right,
Right.
but I also never felt like he thought he was doing anything wrong. I think he's one of the people who thought, well, everybody doing this at a
Yeah.
different degree. That's why he's also so high at Meech. There is no okay when you're killing people. There's no,
Yeah.
oh, okay. The line is completely destroyed then.
Yeah.
So it takes it to another, I think it takes it to a much more dire level between the two of them because one of them got to go at some point.
Mm-hmm. And then you have something over Meech's partner, I should say, that you're holding over him that you've been using as leverage, which is actually really a brilliant play
Right,
in
right,
that
right.
sense. Yeah, yeah. Since you
Yeah. You
don't
talking about
have
B. Mickey.
exactly.
B. Mickey, yeah. So then basically I got a snitch inside. Now, basically what we're talking about because he has his mom is in bad shape,
Yes.
and so he has to deal with that along with dealing with being a part of the mix of what's going on in his character. They gave his character some nice flavor to it,
Mm-hmm.
and then but in my humble opinion, my main goal is to get that dude Meech off the planet, and I'm going to use just about any means necessary to do so, aside from killing him. So I'm trying to do it because I know he's dirty, and now he can go beyond that line. He no longer belongs out here. It's,
Yeah. But it's interesting how Detective Bryant, like he tugs at, like he knows. I mean, there's like manipulative tactics that people use. I mean, in all aspects of life. But he knew exactly how to get to be Mickey, and when he made that, he helped him with his mom. At that point, he was locked in. Like there was nothing.
Anybody help you with your mom?
Exactly.
You know, you go move a certain way. So yeah, absolutely. I think the character knows this. I think the character is using this. I think the character, again, you know, the casualty of B Mickey is just a casualty to him to get to what he really needs to get to. Even if you could feel that maybe he does care for his mom a little bit. She's not part of this, you know, whatever. Maybe he's trying to look out for that because he can't understand certain factors. But make no mistake about it, it's because it's for his ends and his means to get what he wants.
I'm struggling to find any truly good guy within like the streets and the police in this particular these characters. I don't find there's not one character to me who I can say, okay, this person is good. I'm like, I'm trying. You know?
Look, you might be struggling, so you've been struggling for a long time. So we bring new people in, you struggle with them people, and I think, you know, here's what I say about it. You know, mom and dad are clean.
Yes. Yeah, right? They're clean. They're good.
And you're trying to find a way. You wonder about the sister, if she's going to end up going a certain way. The young girl, right? Because
she's seen a lot too.
Yeah, she's seen a lot. She's been around a lot. It's cost her a lot. She's in it without being in it. They are both sons still trying to take care of family. That's essentially underneath a lot of this sort of thing. Not to mistake them taking care of themselves. I'm not saying that, but they do bring family with it. I find it interesting. What I always find compelling in something like this is that nobody is one way.
That's true.
One way. Nobody.
No. No one's just truly.
So there's different dimensions and so many. You know, one day the cat will say something to you, you be like, "Man, get up on my face." The next minute, oh, I get what you're saying. This is human nature, right? We do.
Right.
We also do different levels of degrees of wrong, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? And we've all done
it's true.
Degrees of manipulation. So when you really tackle it, the thing that's heightened is, to me, what they're doing is what we don't do. We don't deal with drugs. We don't deal with necessarily killing people over this stuff, or, you know, dealing with anything we can, but we have different degrees of that. So, and I think as the season progresses, you'll see me dealing with my son. That'll show a different side of what I have to deal with, as well as what's going on in the streets and this new partner situation that I really don't want to be a part of. And I got to deal with that. So I think it opens up some levels. Now, I don't know if this is designed for people to like you. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think the show, I think these characters, if you met them in real life, they are likable. Like Meech is a likable dude.
He's an affable guy.
He really is. I'm talking about the dad, not the son. The dad. He's a likable dude. So, you know, you have those components. It's just that some people have a switch that can go all the way up. Most of us, our switch can't go all the way up. And so, you know, that's what I try to deal with any character that I play, that for the most part, people aren't going to like.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'll just say this as we're wrapping up. Like, for me, the way I look at things, like, obviously, I don't know nothing about no underworld and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. All I got is apps on my phone to see if I can get deals on like McDonald's and like, I got nothing to do with this. But I will say this, to your point, there are certain levels of, like, you know, antagonistic behavior, people trying to level up, things like that. I think that, like, in the workplace, that's the common general workplace, there are so many things that we can all relate to, even the themes of love, betrayal, you know, confusion. Like you said, there's just this moral compass, and we all wanted to sort of do the right thing, but what is the right thing in every situation? I mean, you know, so yes, I do believe that it's highly relatable in that sense. You just got to take the drugs out of it. And a little of the murder stuff, we could put that to the side too.
Yeah, but you will be telling their story. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that is their story.
It ain't mine.
It's not my story. Remember,
I'm like, because I said it wasn't mine. I didn't hear you say it wasn't. Okay, I'm glad you.
No, this ain't my story. You know what I mean? No, it's their story for sure. That's hilarious.
Once again, my name is Koku at blackfilm.com, and I had a lot of fun here talking to Steve Harris. He plays Detective Bryant. He gets to have a lot of fun himself, playing a cop that does a lot of interesting things and comes to some very interesting plays here. I'm talking about the STARZ hit series BMF. It's season 2 that we're coming into in January. You guys are going to love it. Thank you so much for your time, Steve. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.